Yes! Come on! Yes, 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 yes. From start to finish, I genuinely can't believe we put in that good a performance. Well, I say start to finish. Let's say start until the 85th minute. But my word, we got so many things right tonight. And I was so pleased because they started with the two things that I was moaning about last week, celebrating the club's successes. They did start the game by parading the four winning Lionesses around the stadium before kickoff, something that I could not believe they didn't do ahead of the Brighton game. And then they presented Casemiro as a new Manchester United player, meaning that the whole fan base in the crowd were all behind the team going into the match. Something that was so desperately needed, because I was genuinely concerned that the fans would be caught up in the whole anti-Glaziers stuff, that they'd almost forget about the game. And by putting that positive mindset into the fans before kickoff, it really gave that positive impetus into the players at the start. And my word, what a performance they've just put in. To go, I know Liverpool have had a bad start to the season, and I know Jurgen Klopp, I'm sure, will go on about the injuries again, but that's just football, and you've got to play with the best team you possibly can. You've got to perform against that team, and Manchester United put in that performance today, and that's all that matters. And a lot of that has to go down to Eric Ten Hag, because that team selection was absolutely spot on. Took out Maguire and he took out Shaw for Malacia. I think Malacia went very much under the radar in that game. Salah didn't really offer anything in the entire match. Yes, he scored his goal, but that was just another incident. And, you know, I'll still say De Gea should have saved it if he used his left hand, not his left foot. But whatever. Malacia, absolutely incredible. Martinez, proving why he can play at this level. Yes, he wasn't up against a physical forward, and we'll see what happens next week against Southampton, when I think they'll more than likely play Che Adams on him, trying to use a physical presence rather than someone like Firmino. Would have been interesting if Darwin was playing, how different it would have been. But Martinez, unbelievable. Rafael Varane, just how has this guy not been playing every game at the start of this season? And then Diogo Dalot, I'll be honest, Diogo Dalot surprised me today. I know he had a really good pre-season, but I had questioned him defensively. I called out last week that it had to be Wan-Bissaka, but Dalot played absolutely phenomenally against Luis Diaz. A much better performance from him defensively. That whole back line were absolutely fantastic. And finally, in terms of team selection, the choice for going for Elanga from the start was absolutely a masterstroke. I was surprised, I really was. I wasn't surprised to see Ronaldo not starting, but I was surprised to see Elanga starting. And in that first half, he absolutely played Trent off the pitch at both ends. Every time Elanga went forward, it looked like Trent didn't know what to do about him. Got himself booked. Arguably could have been sent off after the initial foul on Rashford. And then every time Trent tried to make those runs down the right-hand side, Elanga was on him. To the extent that I think he was just absolutely exhausted at half-time. And then what a substitution at half-time, moving Martial into the middle and then Rashford out wide. I counted 4 occasions in that second half where Martial skinned Van Dijk, the guy who never gets beaten in one-on-one situations, and Martial just had him on toast all of that second half. Every time he got the ball, Van Dijk didn't know what to do with him, and that, of course, eventually led to the second goal, putting Rashford through on goal and putting it away. So, tactics from Ten Hag, absolutely spot on. Finally, in terms of tactics as well, David De Gea, not one single goal kick today went short. Every single one of them went long, completely took the Liverpool press out of the game. And it was just an absolute tactical masterclass in how you play against Liverpool. Get the ball away from their attacking players, put pressure on their back line, put pressure on their midfield, because their midfield isn't anywhere near as good as they think it is. I know Thiago was injured and Fabinho didn't start, but genuinely, and this might just be my bias, I don't think if they started it would have made much difference. The amount of intensity from that Manchester United midfield was exactly the same as what Fulham's was 2 weeks ago, and the exact same thing happened when it was Fabinho and Thiago. So I don't think that would have made much of a difference, to be honest. I think it was just the way to play against Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp didn't really know how to deal with it. Yes, of course, Liverpool did get their goal at the end from some slightly dodgy defending as always, but they held on, which is something else that hasn't been happening recently. Holding on to a lead when the pressure is on. And the players showed a lot of character today. And I'm absolutely over the moon because as much as I believed, and you would have seen on this channel enough times, I always believe in the players. I always believe that we can beat anyone if they put their heart and soul into the match. And they did that today. And they have to go again. Southampton will be a completely different test. And they have to be ready, and they have to show that same level of fight and intensity again. That can't just be, we have to perform because we're bottom of the league, we lost 4-0 to Brentford and we're playing Liverpool. That's a very easy combination to play at your absolute best because you don't really have any choice other than to do it. Now we're going into a game off the back of winning against Liverpool, and we have to play exactly like that with the same level of intensity against Southampton. So hopefully that is what we're going to see. Hopefully we see some more signings over the course of the next week. It'd be great to get some more competition for places in that squad. But we cannot end without reminding them that this does not let the Glaziers off the hook by any stretch of the imagination. They still need to go. You could see it on the pitch today. So many problems, set pieces, the drainage system at Old Trafford. I'm clutching at straws, but one good result cannot change the mindset towards the Glaziers. It still has to be Glaziers out. The reset button still needs to be hit, but a fantastic start, albeit at the third game of the season. Can breathe now. Thank you very much for watching.